Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Saturday Night with Carlitos. Hope everybody's having a great night. Let's see. We can talk about anything. While I'll put the link on right now. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna pindle in. I gotta turn on my phone. Okay. Hey, Reddy. What's up? Yeah, I got. Yeah, I went live again. I noticed no one was live. What can we? Let me see. My phone is kind of slow, but I'm on my computer right now. Yes, okay, here we go. I got it now. Damn it. Okay, here we go. Yes, okay, here we go. I got it now. There it is. The link is pinned. Anybody want to come up? Okay, we can talk about. Let's see. Let me look on Twitter. If I find something interesting to talk about. Let's see. What can we talk about? Okay, we can talk about Evil Leap. Yeah, right. Oh man, let's see. Nope, nope. Be start. Be safe, everyone. Happy Memorial Weekend. Yes. Nope. Mm. Look for something to talk. A subject. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, we can talk about. Hey, hello, Carla. How are you? Says here, what does it? Hmm. Oh, okay. Oh, I got it. I know what we can talk. Oh, I'm doing good, Carla. Thanks. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Here's another ghost story that I discovered. It takes place in Mexico City back in the year 1975. It goes like this. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go now. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. In 1975, when the circus Ataide Circus is the first one. Let me explain. Is the most popular circus in Mexico. Hey, hello, Colt. Is the most popular circus in Mexico. Hmm. And in that year, when they had shows, the circus would go into would take place at the famous Arena Mexico. The Arena Mexico was the it is now to this day, opened in 1956. It's considered to be the cathedral of wrestling matches and also boxing matches, legendary in Mexico. Well, they say this is story goes back to 1975 when the circus was playing in that arena. There was this clown named who went by the name of Torpedo. Torpedo was a short, clown, what you might call a midget. He was so, you know, um, he was a funny guy, everything, so and so. So one day he 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 falls in love with uh, with one of the girls who's one of the women who is an acrobat in the circus. He started, giving her flowers, sending her gifts and everything, but she didn't like it, making fun of him. teasing him about his height and all that kind of stuff, and telling him, I don't. If you were the last man on earth, I won't be with you and everything. This woman humiliated this man. All he was showing was love towards her. Nothing much. I mean, she was saying, "Get out of my life," all kinds of stuff like that. But that's what led to what happened next. Well, one day the clown Torpedo went and uh, went into a rage and started yelling and stuff like that, and decided to hung himself right in that arena. And he wrote a note, a suicide note, why he was doing it. And the note was because the acrobat women did not want him, and he perished that night. Well, years later, people that run the arena, people that work in the arena, like the cleaning people, maintenance, night watchmen, and so on, they claim they have seen him. Some people say they see him walking. Some people say they hear his creepy laugh, like that at night. In the arena, Mexico arena. Yes, let me see if I can show you a picture here on my phone of that arena. That's as a matter of fact, in 1957, uh, a year after the arena was open, they actually filmed a horror movie there. No, actually, a horror movie, yeah, there, and the movie was released. Yeah. Hmm, okay, let me see images. Okay, let me get the images ready. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on, just a second. Right here. Okay, this is the other one, the Coliseum Arena. This opened in 1943, but it's owned by the same owner, the Arena Coliseo. That opened in 1943. That's another one. And I think, yeah, and here's the other one. And this is the place where the ghost appears, they say. And it's still open, and they still have wrestling matches there. Yeah, and it's been in many movies. Many movies. Well, I watched when as a kid or when I grew up. So this is the place where the ghost appears. Usually, yeah, that's the arena. This opened in 1956. Yeah, yeah. It's considered to be the Cathedral of Wrestling. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Both of them are considered to be haunted. Carla. Hey, Carla, what's up? Both of them are considered to be haunted. The Mexico Arena and the Coliseo Arena. There. Both of them were owned by a man named Sal Luterov. Luterov was a man who brought wrestling to Mexico. He went to a wrestling match in El Paso, Texas, back in the early 1930s, and decided, well, I can make a lot of money doing this stuff. Yeah. So this arena is still open right now, and they still have matches. As a matter of fact, this one right here, the Coliseo, right now they're having a match right now in this arena right here, the Coliseo Arena. And every time I see these things, man, it takes me back to my childhood. Man, yeah. Mm. Yeah, since that arena, the Mexico is haunted. Several horror movies actually were filmed there. Oh yeah, lots of good stories. So lots of ghosts in that arena were filmed there. In 1972, there was one movie about some werewolves that were attacking people that was filmed at that arena. In 1956, 57. There was a film called uh, Grave Robbers or something. It was about this evil scientist who makes this uh, uh, like like Frankenstein, something like that, and he monster like that, and that monster goes into that arena and he terrorizes the arena. People are running like crazy. Yeah, yeah, and it was yeah, but it's considered the Cathedral of Wrestling, just like Fenway Park in Boston is considered the Cathedral of Baseball or Wrigley Field, or not to mention last but not least Yankee Stadium. This is like for wrestling. I mean, considered. Yeah, this place since I was a kid, I've been seeing in movies and in this place. It's just been in my life for most of my life, I think. Okay, here's another one. Okay, let's see if I can show you another stuff I have. There's another. It's Okay. Let's. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Okay, don't forget these pictures. These right here, you see here, are mummies. Are mummies. They're in a city called Guanajuato. It's in the central part of Mexico. The city is it goes back to the seventh. No, no, wait a minute. Go a little back to the 16th century. Yeah. And this in this museum of mummies, these are like these are ordinary people that lived back in 1800s or so and so on, and they're mummified in this museum right here. You see them? It's kind of creepy. Yeah, you know. Yeah, yeah. It's famous for its in the 1960s, early 60s, they made a television series about this man who was a tour guide working in these where they have these mummies, and he would not just give stories about mummies how they got there. He would tell them horrible stories, what happened to these people and how they died and later became mummies of that museum. He would tell them creepy stories, that went back to the 1700s. He'll say this person lived in this house and he died of somebody had murdered him or something like that. And the guy that actually that told the stories was a very creepy man. It started, he was, like the sh- the show consisted of him guiding, several people, and actually in present time Mexico, which was back then 1962, and he was telling him stories about this mummy here died in 1905, and his story is very complicated that he'll tell, and then and then as he's telling the story, they'll show how the person lived and and died and everything. That yeah, yeah, you can see some clips on it on YouTube about this show that aired on Mexican TV in the 1960s. Yeah. Mm. And in 1971 they made a movie about these mummies that actually came back to life and started terrorizing the town. Oh yeah. I remember, my brother told me that he remembers when he took me to watch it. I didn't even remember. I was a toddler, and he said there was a line that cover that cover almost 2 blocks to watch that movie. Yeah. Mm, mm. Okay, here. Oh, here I'm about to show you another picture. Hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna go to another one, to another date and time. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, here we go. La. Oh, Carla, here's the one. Oh, you mean the what's the name? The movie? Okay, that movie. Okay, that was called the Mummies of Guanajuato. It's a 1971 film. Yeah, that was the name of that movie. And the other story was also called the Mummies of Guanajuato. Both stories from the TV show and later on the movies had the same name. Okay, here's another thing, Carl. You might That's the Island of the Dolls right there. Legend has it if you take one doll, you died. You Something bad will happen if you take one doll away. Yeah. Well, legend has it like back in the 1950s, there was a little girl that drowned in that channel called Xochimilco. Yeah. As a matter of fact, people go to that lake and spend a day picnicking and roaming around, drinking beers, singing, and stuff like that. It's really nice. I mean, it's famous for that. Mm. Yeah, this is one of the most creepiest, one of the most scariest stories that come out of Mexico. This is another one also that came out. Here's another one very few people um, have heard of. Mostly, if you lived in Mexico, if you've gone to and read about Mexico, you probably have heard about it. Let me find the picture. What? Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. This one is called the Nagual. This picture. The Nagual is a man who turns into a beast, just like the werewolf. It goes back to pre-Columbian times. It goes back to pre-Columbian times. They say an Indian shaman, an Indian medicine man, turns into one of these, according to legend. Uh, Nagual. Interesting, Carla. In the city where my grandmother was born, or my maternal grandmother was born in Mexico. I came upon a couple of months ago. I came upon legends of that town, and they had all these ghost legends. And they say that back in the long time ago, long time ago, maybe when my grandmother was a little girl, there was a witch doctor that lived right outside the village in a in some kind of a in a in some kind of shack or something. And legend has it that that shaman or medicine man turned into a creature at night at the height of the certain moon. And what's interesting, there's a cemetery there, right where the shaman lived, and there's also a small chapel there that honors I think a fallen hero of that town of that region, a fallen hero. The chapel, and right nearby there's a small cemetery. Well, my grandfather is was buried in that cemetery. My grandfather was actually buried there in that cemetery. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember another story about that. One time, me and my cousin were, we're having issues. We were arguing and stuff like that, and we're in the car. And my cousin says, "Well, let's." He was with his friend and me, and we were just roaming around drinking. And he says, and I told my cousin, "Hey, where are we going? Come on, you tell me where are we going? You you'll see where we're going." And guess where he took me? He took me to that chapel where the shaman used to live over there for punishment. And he started praying to God, and he said, oh God, let's hope my cousin finally comes to his senses and stop cussing at me like that." Oh, come on. Yeah, yeah, man, that was really funny about him. Yeah, this one right here, Nagual, they say, it comes from the state of let's see, in the region of Tlaxcala, which is south of Mexico City. South. Oh no, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, they say it's a person that lives among people and possesses superpowers. Supernatural powers. Yeah, here's one story that somebody collects. Our grandparents in the state of Tlaxcala would say at night the Naguales will come at night of feeling thirst for blood and killing the cattle. Oh yes, Colt. I like that movie. I seen that movie. Actually, I saw it when it first came out. I seen it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he said with with their power and having a pact with the devil, those Naguales. Mhm. Yeah, it goes back to the days of early before the Spaniards, conquered Mexico. The Naguales. Yeah. Mhm. So here's one picture here of old pre-Columbian times, the legend where it comes from. They say the Nagual could turn into a wolf, a coyote, a horse, and and a vulture, or a bear, or a burro, and even a turkey, and also frogs and wild turkeys. Also, they say. Yeah, here's another story. Sure. I don't see this. Oh, here's one. Here's a scary one. This is a Mexican ghost story about a taxi driver. Several taxi drivers have claimed they have picked up a woman, and she, instead of giving a location to the drive to drive, she gave them directions. The directions took them to a very far location. The location ended up being a cemetery. When they arrived and the taxi driver looked towards the back seat, the woman was gone. This is a story was told me in several. This is a story. This story was told to me in a casual setting in the middle of the evening on a weekend. The informant is a sophomore at USC and is at USC and is Mexican American, but grew up in Southern California. She told this story by her mother in her teenage years. My informant also told me it is a story specific to her mother's hometown of Tijuana, which is also my hometown. My thoughts on this story is that it does not hold any specific message, but it used as entertainment. I thought this story was interesting that my informant told me it was specific to a city rather than the whole country or region. What is also found interesting, this is a story the taxi driver does not realize she is a ghost until she disappears. There's also no mentions of bad luck, tragedy, or horror that most ghost stories tend to have. Overall, this story was a very unique type of folklore. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Here's one of them. Let's see if I can find one. Okay, here's one. This one goes back to the 1920s. Haunted is the Agua Caliente Casino and Hotel in Tijuana. The performer known as La Faraona, the Pharaoh Lady, remains like a ghost from the golden age of Sin City. During Prohibition times in the U.S. in the 1920s, people flocked to the borders to have a drink and a good time. The border towns also became a hotspot for smuggling activity, flourishing establishments that which quenched people's thirst. Tijuana was one of those border towns that saw a golden age of growth during this time. People came from all over the world to get a drink while gambling at their casino and watch horse racing and bullfighting for the conservatives. Tijuana became known as Sin City, or it was even called Satan's playground. Yeah. The demand for good time was profitable, however, and attracted many people south of the border, and many resorts were established. For this particular one, for this particular need, one of these places was Agua Caliente Casino and Hotel that opened in 1928. It was like the American Monte Carlo Dutyville that attracted American celebrities, Mexican politicians, diplomats, gangsters, gamblers, alike during the 1930s. This is a time that is remembered as Tijuana as the golden age. The hotel in Tijuana, Mexico, in Baja California, is said to be haunted now, however, and the glamour once held. It's now under the layer of a dust only of footnote in history. It is now a high school, and many reports of the haunting come from the students themselves. There are many stories, especially about women walking past the student who feel they don't even touch the ground. The legend of this ghost has been called La Faraona. La Faraona means the La Faraona means the lady pharaoh, just because it was. Yeah. Aguacaliente is a place where performers had the chance of being discovered and making it big. Rita Hayworth was one of those while she was playing a show at the hotel. She went on to be a famous Hollywood star and cultural icon, but there was not every performer that managed to get out of Tijuana. Satan's Playground, de Agua Caliente, was a famous tourist spot for a weekend away. It was also a place where many performers were employed and made famous. On the other end, it was a place where many illegal activities took place. It is said that the female performer haunts a hotel that was built atop a natural hot spring. In many versions, she worked as a singer, but in the most detailed stories, she was a dancer. In one of the most popular shows, a flamenco dancer from Spain. The story is told at the school called her La Faraona, apparently her stage name as a star in one of the many shows at the casino at the Agua Caliente. She was supposedly known as being somewhat of a good luck charm to keep at your side by the gambling tables at the casino. By her many admirers, she gained a lot of wealth in the form of diamonds and jewelry, and there are rumors that she hid treasure by the by the minaret, which is the place her ghost has been spotted many times. They say crime of passion. Here it goes. La Faraona, she was in a relationship with a man in the resort. Some call him Mr. Patrick, a British gentleman and a dealer that had made money on the alcohol smuggling business. And in some accounts, he was even in Al Capone's mob gang. In all accounts, however, it has ended tragically when La Faraona kill him. Why did it differs from one version to the next? But it is usually by poison. In some accounts, she only poisoned him, but many versions she does it to both of them. She supposedly poisoned her lover after stealing his money, or after she realized he wasn't intending bringing her with him to bringing her back with him to England. In some versions, it was because she saw him with another woman. Apparently, she laughed in his face when she poisoned him, and even told him there was an antidote for it that she wouldn't give him. He ran after her to get the antidote from her, but it didn't get it. Then shot then shot and killed her. This also meant that he would never find the antidote to the poison well, and he too died, or they both died by the poison she laced their drinks with. Now, they both haunt the Format Hotel where they ended up their days. When we took at the historical facts that were only one murder registered at the Agua Caliente, I thought who knows how many of that never made it to the public really happened. We will never know. But working for the past 4 months at the Agua Caliente was found on 26th of March in 1934. Named Esperanza Lopez was found murdered in one of the bungalows at the premise that was that was kept for the artist at the casino. She had been shot by her husband, who also worked at the hotel, named Rodrigo Prieto. The hotel closed in 1938 when the prohibitions were lifted in the states and Mexico forbade gambling. Then the building was turned into a private school named Lázaro Cárdenas High School. As a matter of fact, my older brother is an alumni from that high school. My older brother went to that school. The stories about the haunting mostly came from, and the students at the school keep insisting on seeing her ghost roaming about the place, as she is never leaving the Agua Caliente. Yes, yes, that place. Yes, Colt, I'm reading the chat. So this is the story. I mean, this is the story of this woman at the Agua Caliente Casino. But if you ever see a movie called The Champ, not the '70s, not the 1970s version movie. I mean the original one with Jackie Cooper. Well, that movie was actually filmed in that casino before the casino was closed in 1938. Yeah, Agua Caliente Casino. It was famous for because in those days, a lot of the Hollywood people, like Charlie Chaplin, went, Buster Keaton, Lauren Hardy, go there, and spend a weekend there and gamble. The Three Stooges, Clark Gable, people like Jamie Cagney, people from that era would go there and you know good time because Tijuana is only about 140 miles from it's about 150 miles from LA actually. I mean, back then you had to take a train or something to San Diego, and then after that you take maybe something other train they had, and that's how you got there. But now you can just get on the freeway, the Highway 5, and uh, and and it'll take you directly to LA. I mean, it goes starts in the Mexican border, Highway 5, and it ends up into Vancouver, Canada. You know, it covers three states: California, Oregon, and Washington State. As a matter of fact, I live right a block away from yeah, I live a block. I live right a block away from I live right a block from Highway 5. That's where I live. Yeah. hmm Yes, a lot of those places I have come upon. Hey, hello, DC Accuracy. Yeah, a lot of those places I come upon. Ah, yes, Fred Ward. He died. Yes, he was in a lot of movies. Thunderheart, Tremors. Yeah, I seen that movie. Also, and on he was in also in yeah, The Right Stuff. Remember, he was in. Oh yeah, Cult. He was in another movie that took place in your home state. I bet you. I bet you know that movie's name. Tell me the name of that movie. Name that movie, Colt. It took place in the Louisiana Bayou. The film. Yeah, you know the name of it. Okay, it was Southern Comfort. Oh yes, you believe. They should leave that lady alone. Yes, that movie, Colt. Yeah. Man, you can come up, Colt, if you want. Yeah, yeah, and also let's see, Keith Carradine and Powers Booth were also in that movie. Oh, look at some funny stuff here. Well, I'm gonna end this stream, but thanks for all you coming. I might go live tomorrow. Got something here to do.